If you are a fan of softball, then you are going to love the Fastpitch TV show. We're bringing you more interviews, more videos, and more product reviews than anyone else on the planet. Sit back and get ready. Here's the Fastpitch TV show.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Fastpitch TV show. Now, if you found us on Facebook, MySpace, or another video sharing site, please check out our website. I tell you this every week. Check out fastpitch.tv. It's the place to find all of our past episodes and a place to keep up with our future episodes too. I'd also like to thank our sponsor, Softball Junk. Now, please visit their website at softballjunk.com. Now, at the end of today's show, I'm going to give you a special code that will give you $20 off softball bats on their website. So stay tuned for that code. Now, if you're a regular viewer, you know I went to Round Rock, Texas a few weeks ago. I went and watched the NPF games between the USSSA Pride and the Chicago Bandits. I interviewed several people while I was there. Now, one of the people I interviewed was Rob Cruz. He's the hitting coach for the USSSA Pride. Let's see what Rob had to say. Well, I appreciate you joining us here down in Round Rock, Texas. Tell me what it's like switching over to working with these ladies here at this level.
Well, it definitely has been a learning curve, and the learning curve has really been, it's professional. So you're talking about the best players in the country, best players in the world, players coming from the U.S. Olympic team, players that are coming out of college, All-Americans, conference players of the year. Then you have your veterans who've been in the league for a long time. So it took me about, I'd say, in the 3 months, about 3 weeks, 3.5 weeks to kind of observe, see what the girls were comfortable doing, learning what they're thinking, what their approaches are, what they want to try to do, and then just kind of creating an environment, a training environment and a preparation environment at the same time. So at the same time as we're training, we're also preparing for the next game.
Now, yesterday I was watching you working with the ladies in the batting cage, and you were working with Jessica quite a bit, and then she hits 2 home runs last night. What'd you say to her? What was that about? You must have. You take credit for it. Get some credit here. What'd you say to her?
I don't want to take credit because when they're not hitting, I don't want the credit. But
that's a very good point.
I wanted her to feel some things, so we did some different drills to get her to feel certain things. Because sometimes when you have the hitters who are very analytical and they're very into their swings, like Jessica is, I wanted her to get away from thinking so much and just let's do some drills so your body can feel it. We can kind of get some good positive programming in and some good quote-unquote muscle memory. But I wanted her to start programming her movements and what direction she was going in on certain pitches. And then, fortunately, it translated into the game. She hit the ball hard both games yesterday, which I was pretty happy for her.
And 2 of them for home runs.
Yeah, 2 of them went out. So
yeah, so that's
was good.
Now, notice when you were working with her yesterday, if you're pitching to her, behind your back were windows, and you kept saying, hit the 3rd window, hit the 2nd window. Tell me what that was about.
Okay, that was a drill that I did to try to get her to understand her contact points. So what I did was I was trying to get her to actually hit like a field goal.
She wasn't really hitting the windows, but she was hitting the ball in that direction.
Aiming in that direction. So what I was trying to get her to do was try to hit a field goal in certain spots, so she could understand that each pitch needs to be hit in a certain spot, especially on the outside part. Because what was happening with her earlier in the year, she was kind of pulling off a little bit. So we were kind of working the left center, and BP. And then she's fast enough to turn anybody's inside pitch around. So I didn't want her to be, cheating with the front shoulder. So we were doing some drills just to reinforce keeping everything closed. And that's pretty much what we were trying to get accomplished.
Now, I think you're probably the first batting coach I've really probably had on the show. And I get asked the question by a lot of guys ask me this question. You've seen these shows where a baseball player will face a softball pitcher and they can't hit him. And guys always ask me, well, could a softball player hit a baseball pitcher? What do you think of that?
Well, I always, I come from baseball. And I think since I come from baseball, I figure, ask me the question again? I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I got to organize my thoughts.
Okay, no, that's fine. Could a softball player, batter, hit a baseball pitcher?
Of course.
Okay, well, that's the answer I've said. But
I think the debate has been what's harder. And I believe that at the highest level in baseball and at the highest level in fast pitch softball, hitting a softball is a lot harder, and I'll tell you why. One, a softball has a contrast of seams to ball of optic yellow and red, which are very close in contrast, so it's very difficult to read seams. And baseball is a bigger contrast, red to white. So baseball players have a better opportunity to actually read seams. Softball players, it's really hard to pick up seam and read pitch. So that's one reason. Two is that in softball, the ball breaks on a number of different planes because of the up pitch. So visually, a softball player has to be significantly better, significantly more talented, just because of that whole up pitch, because that's a whole nother plane. And baseball players don't see that up plane. And now they got the rise that goes up and in, the rise that goes up and away. I mean, there's so many different planes that you have to protect and be ready for. It becomes a whole other level of reaction time, and the visual game in fast pitch is just tremendously more of a challenge.
That's the first time I've heard that from the perspective of the visual with the seams and the ball. I've heard a lot of answers on this talking to people, but I've never heard anyone bring up that point, which I think is a very valid point.
It's strictly visual, really is.
So what's it like so far? This is your first year?
My first year coaching at the professional level in fast pitch. I must say it's been a somewhat of a challenge. Like I said, it was a learning curve, and I loved it. I think I've learned a lot in terms of, I think I'm a better coach now because of being at the level and seeing the on-field issues that go on and some of the different things of why players don't hit and the adjustments that hitters have to make. And I have a certain level of respect for the MPF in the pitching because the pitching is absolutely unbelievable in this league. And if you're batting 275, 280, you're one of the best pitchers. If you're batting 275, 280, you're one of the best hitters in the world in this league.
Let me ask you another question. This is another question that I think you're uniquely capable of answering because you coached both men and women. Mm-hmm. Is there any difference or anything that you're going, well, you know, this is kind of different coaching women than it was men, or is it all just the same no matter who you're coaching, or is there, just curious, what's the difference if there's a difference?
I think women in their nature are a lot more emotional but at the same time, that emotion could be positive because they're more passionate about their game and they want to work harder and they want to learn more and they want to fix stuff when it's wrong. And guys are not as emotional. They're a lot more egotistical though. So just knowing that as a coach, my approach is different in how I communicate with them. Because I want to listen to them. I want to hear what they have to say more, and I want to try to get into their brains and listen to what they're feeling. You know, because it's all about what they're feeling that day, and that's going to really affect how they perform.
That makes sense. I appreciate you taking the time to talk with me today. It's we're down here in Round Rock, and it's 2-2 going into the fifth game today.
2-2. This is the rubber game.
So, how you feeling about today's game?
I feel confident. I mean, our team is we have so many different weapons to hit you with offensively. You know, there's really not just 2 or 3 big hitters in our lineup. We got anybody capable of having a big day. If we get the pitching, which I'm confident that we will, Sarah Pauly is a tremendous pitcher. We should come out on top.
Well, thanks a lot again for taking the time to talk with me. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
I hope you enjoyed the interview with Rob. He was really an interesting guy to talk to. He really was. Now, before I close the show, I want to make sure that everyone who watches this show on their iPhone, iPod, iPod Touch, iTV, Apple TV, whatever device it is, knows about our app. You can find more information on it at fastpitchapps.com. Now, it does cost $1.99, but that's a great way to help support the show. Now, don't forget to check out our website at fastpitch.tv. It's not fastpitch.com, fastpitch.tv. Become a fan of the show on Facebook at facebook.com/fastpitchtv. Follow us on Twitter at twitter.com/fastpitchtv. Now, as I stated at the beginning of the show, Softball Junk has a special offer for all the people from the Fast Pitch TV family. Softball Junks can give you $20 off any non-sale softball bat on their website. That's right, take $20 right off the price of the bat. So the next time you buy a bat from the website, just enter the code FPTV1. Then you can visit their website at softballjunk.com. Now, I don't mind you sharing this information with your friends. Help them out. You can help them save $20. But please, don't just give them the code. Tell them to come watch the show, and that there's a code they can get here for $20 off a bat, okay? So help us out get new viewers. That's it for today. So goodbye, and thanks for watching.